What will your life be like in 6 years and 230 days? Not long ago, the world's third installed climate clock in Yongsan, Korea, began counting down 6 years and 230 days. This represents the time remaining until the average global temperature rises by 1.5 degrees, and when the clock reaches zero, we'll be in a situation no different from the end of the Earth. Then, we'll never be able to regain our normal life, of course, in seconds. That is why we should take note of a climate crisis that does not come equally. People who lose their homes due to environmental disruption and have to leave for unfamiliar lands. We call them ecological refugees.
The sight of those wandering after losing their homes is not a future thing. Even now, there is an average of 21.7 million ecological refugees every year, equivalent to 31 people per minute. Then why and how do ecological refugees occur? In short, it can be said it is the result of humans themselves who have created climate change. Above all, the biggest cause is that sea levels, which have risen due to climate change, are devouring countries such as Bangladesh and Mongolia, along with the situation of agricultural countries with no grass and water left for livestock due to environmental destruction and pollution.
In other words, disasters do not come fairly to everyone. Countries such as small island countries or lowland coastal states will be more vulnerable to climate change than other countries. According to the article by the National Human Rights Commission of Korea, most of the countries at risk from climate change, such as unusual weather, rising sea levels, and falling agricultural productivity, are developing countries and the poorest countries in Asia, Africa, and South America. But in fact, these countries have very little greenhouse gas emissions, which are the cause of climate change. Isn't that unfair? Countries with the lowest greenhouse gas emissions are the first to suffer from the climate crisis.
So, what will be our future like? Experts say that if the temperature rises just 0.5 degrees further, there will be about 100 million ecological refugees and 35 million people will be in a food crisis. With 41 refugees per minute, how long will it take for all humans to become ecological refugees? We need to realize. It's no longer another's affair.
This climate crisis is not solved by just one person's efforts. This can only be solved by helping both the world and individuals. So, what should we do for the Earth? First of all, countries around the world should lay the foundation for their protection as ecological refugees that are currently constantly occurring are recognized by international law. In addition, it is necessary to educate its citizens so that they can develop a proper awareness of environmental protection and have values that can coexist with the ecosystem. And based on this, companies need to fulfill their social responsibilities.
Recently, Korea's representative mineral water manufacturer removed plastic labels attached to plastic bottles and engraved corporate logos on plastic bottles to increase recycling efficiency. Therefore, individuals should first consume the goods of companies that produce these eco-friendly products and think about how own actions affect global change.
How dare you pretend that this can be solved with just business as usual and some technical solutions?
We have a duty to protect our ecosystem as soon as possible, not for the future, but for the present. Let's imagine, after all, where is our final destination? Ecological refugees or ecological citizens? It's too late when you're alert. We have to start now.